just feel like it's a wonderful opportunity for young people. The hours are flexible. You can work 20 hours a week, up to 40 hours a week. And I encourage anyone and everyone with a friend or a family member or someone at church that perhaps is looking for a job who wants to help out their community. So I appreciate your time. I have informational flyers over there as well as the address to go online to fill out the application. Are there any questions for me? Any questions?
Mary, if I may?
Sure.
Thank you so much.
You're
Very
welcome,
appreciate
Mrs.
it.
Turner.
And then next week, we're going to have a representative from the Census Bureau himself. He's going to come and explain the process, some of the questions, and he'll be there because we really want information is power, and that's what we really want to do. So it's going to be redundant, but she's on the recruiting side for employment, and then he's going to be speaking on the actual census itself and how the questionnaire will come out. Okay?
Thank you very much. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 3B, consideration and action to approve creating and hiring a police officer position for the Floresville Police Department. Assistant Chief, are you?
Mayor, Council, thank you again for having us up here. And so, if I can start the way this came about, I think anyway it came about, it started with the warrant roundups that we started doing in March. And you heard Judge Jimenez and Monica Cordova give a report, I guess, in the last council meeting, of how many warrants have been served since we were doing this. And we believe it's a good idea that there be a full-time police officer assigned to municipal court as a warrant officer. Comparing the first quarter of 2017 and the first quarter of 2008, first quarter of 2018 and first quarter of 2019, between fines paid, community services granted by the court, there was approximately $36,000 that was raised. I'm not taking credit for all of that, but I believe that our officers cleared over 80 warrants in those 2 days, and I think that had a significant impact on the money that was brought in. And so if we have an officer who is serving as a warrant officer on a daily basis, he's the only paid full-time police officer that will be doing that. In addition, if you don't already know, we have a reserve officer who's non-paid, doesn't have any benefits, but we have reserve officers who have been working with the court from 10 to 2 Monday through Friday. I've increased that for 1 hour, so it becomes 5 hours a day, and I would assign those officers to the full-time officer that would be working with warrants. That's Officer Jesse Gutierrez, who would be working with the warrants. So you have a full-time officer and you have a reserve officer who costs absolutely nothing, who is going to be working day by day to bring in warrants. It's not about necessarily putting people in jail. These are traffic offenses. This is more about bringing in revenue for the city. The fines that are assessed by the municipal court judge. Jesse Gutierrez, we've already assigned him over. He came over here serving as a full-time warrant officer on May 1st. And before he was there, he was in our criminal investigation division. We had 3 slots. We probably need 4 with the caseload we have now, but we have 3 spots for CID. And we have, with Jesse coming over here, we now have a void. We want to fill the spot in CID, but the only way we can do that is we have to take someone from our patrol division. When we take from patrol, we compromise our minimum staffing, which is 2 people per shift. The only way we can actually at times have 2 people per shift if we pull from patrol is now we're paying overtime on a daily basis. And that's going to be more of a cost. So what we are proposing is that, and what we're asking, is that the city council grant another full-time officer position who would be just that in patrol. If you grant this position, we will advertise it, and we will take applications from people who are already certified. I can't give you an exact number of what the salary would be because the way our collective bargaining agreement is set up with the city, it depends on the officer's previous experience, but I can give you a range. If you'll bear with me one moment. The starting salary for a patrolman, it would be anywhere from a step 1 to a step 5. And it would be, starting pay for a step 1 would be $20.47 an hour, up to $24.42 an hour to step 5. If you want to talk annual amounts on a step 1 police officer, it would be $42,583 annually for step 1. And then on the high end range, it would be $50,806. I think if we're going to have a warrant officer, and again, we're creating a void, there's going to be a void either in our criminal investigation division or in our patrol division. I can tell you now, our criminal investigation division, we're barely making it with 3 people, and if we have a void there, we're going to have problems. Yes, sir. Oh, I think I forgot to mention also this officer, Jesse Gutierrez, that has been assigned to warrants, is also going to be fulfilling the duties of an animal control officer. The reason that Jesse was selected to go over there, we asked him first, he was okay with it, he was. And the reason he was selected is because, to my knowledge, Ms. Turner, correct me if I'm wrong, he is the only employee in the city, police department or non-police department, he's the only city employee that we currently have who has a dual certification to be a municipal court officer and to do animal control. I believe he's also certified as code compliance, which further goes into our current code compliance person who has not been able to issue citations for code enforcement violations. And it's my understanding that working under the umbrella of a police officer, he now would be able to start doing that. So we could actually start doing more code enforcement as well. Ms. Turner's had brief discussions with Chief Herrera and myself about possibly increasing our code enforcement through the officer that's working here with Officer Gutierrez. And that's something that I told her I would welcome. Chief Herrera welcomes it. I think we can do that. But at the end of the day, to do that, there's either going to be a void in CID or a void in patrol, and we just won't be able to really operate. So I'm asking the council to approve another police officer.
Any questions by the council?
Yeah, how does it look like it in our books? Connie's not here.
Well, we did have a conversation with Connie, and I'm sorry she wasn't able to come this evening. But yes, it'll be fine. We've had some transition, as you said, we have some new officers because some officers left, and the beginning officers make less money than the other officers. So it's going to be a little tight. They have had me about and identified some locations where we can move some money into the staff recommended, Connie recommended as well. This way, we had this particular officer, Officer Gutierrez, here before, some years back, and the chief had it's under his purview, to move him to do other things because they left in shortage. This way, it will become a permanent position. It's still an organizational chart, but it.
I've got another question.
Hold on one second, we're having technical difficulty.
I've never seen it go red like that before.
Mine has gone green.
They're all
They're all red.
Like demon eyes turned on.
Yeah.
Shall we move on?
Okay, I'll just talk really loud. I don't know if it's gonna get recorded.
Okay, my question was that, that way you don't have a void, instead of doing all the transactions and stuff that you need to do. If we do decide to get another officer, that way you won't have that void. Go ahead and do what you have to do to hire somebody and then do the transaction. So that way we don't have a void in our department.
Yes, Councilman, is it working now? Okay. I know our association president has already posted on the association Facebook page, and we've already started to receive applications. We're not actively processing them yet because we wanted to ensure that the council was going to, this was something you'd be interested in doing. But if you do grant this, then we will start actively working our application so that the hiring time is minimal.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and approve the treasurer office for fund.
Mrs. Martinez?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You were talking about overtime, having an officer do overtime.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that still going to be in effect, or
No,
will
ma'am.
it
once we, what I was talking about is if we have to take somebody away from patrol and assign him to CID, now we have, without another position created, we have a permanent shortage in patrol. Remember, we have a minimal staffing of 2. And so what'll happen is we would have to make an officer actually work overtime to cover another shift to fill that void. And so we're looking at up to 10 hours per day of overtime on the days that that officer would normally work.
Any other questions by the council? Any citizens' comments? You just state your name for all of it.
Linda Wilson, and I agree on the warrants. I've had an issue for a year that no one has taken care of. I don't want to name any names, because I shouldn't have to, and I've gone through the address several times. Never been done, taken care of. Maybe with his help, the issue can be taken care of. You know, I mean, I'm a citizen, a clean citizen, but listen to y'all, I need a little help too.
Thank you so
And
much.
you guys know who I'm talking
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I want to check our sound system.
I apologize.
It's off again.
Well, you were buzzing a minute ago, so.
It's still going.
Are you recording? Can you record?
It's, it shows it's recording, but the mics
I
aren't
have
on.
I have a motion on the floor. Did I get a second?
I'll go ahead and second it.
Seconded by Mrs. Canty, is that all right? Okay. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you.
I'm sorry, she missed that.
Okay. I have a motion by Mrs. Cantu, no, excuse me, by Mr. Jimenez, seconded by Mrs. Cantu, and all in favor.
Thank you.
Council, I want to thank you for your support. Councilman Jimenez, I assure you that we will get on this starting tomorrow.
Thank you. Moving on to item 3C, consideration action to approve the budget amendment.
Yes, I'm going to talk really loud, so please forgive me, and you'll have to check that. We're not getting any reception. Okay, so I know this is a police issue, so this is police night. Connie couldn't make it to the meeting, so I apologize. One of the things that we're talking about is that we had an accident on one of our police vehicles for a settlement, and did about $3,000 worth of damage to the vehicle. We have made some repairs, but we have this check of $3,000. It's considered a revenue coming in, but we now have zero-based budgeting, which means I can't increase the line item unless you will allow us to do so via vote. And we want to actually ask you, is it okay for us to take this $3,000 for that we received in it? I got the check. Can I take this revenue and apply it to the uniform allowance for the police department? With all these new hiring, we've kind of gone over the budget line item, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so the chief and assistant chief has asked us to apply the $3,000 funds onto that uniform allowance that will allow them to do so. And
I'll
so,
make a motion to do that.
thank you.
Is it legal, Miss? Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay,
Before,
before,
and that's why you need the ordinance.
okay, but before I accept the motion, are there any questions concerning this?
For citizen comments.
For citizens' comments? I have one. How does a horse sit on a car?
Okay, so there was a police call, and a horse was, when they came to control it, the officers patrol moved closer to the horse as they were trying to get him into the trailer. The horse booked, stood up, and sat on that car.
It basically was a young horse, Mayor, that had jumped out of its trailer, and when they finally caught up with it, they tried to get it in the trailer, it refused, it backed up, it fell, it actually fell on the cruiser.
And did quite
And
a
I know
bit of
that's
damage.
not part of the agenda, but.
But it is part of the subject,
I
so
was
the
curious about
3,000.
that.
Yes, ma'am, and the chief has agreed that that's what he would like to have the money from. As you saw, the wonderful uniformed officers, we went over that budget line, item, so we would like to put that money there, if it's okay.
So, with no other comments, I do have a motion on the floor by Mr. Jimenez.
I'll go ahead and second it.
Seconded by Mrs. Cantu. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you, 5-0. Thank you. Okay, moving on to item 3D, consideration action to approve the 2019 Health Summer Youth Program. City Manager.
Well, this is always a fun time, but I do want to remind some council people who may be their first time. We received a letter from Phelps, which is in your packet. We received a letter to say that they have, they're allowing for their youth agreement for youth for $6,256. They allow the city to disperse this money. They send the money to us, we disperse it, and we have to match it. That's always been the agreement. And so our match is actually use of the event center. We give them like a little certificate or voucher that they can use the event center for the exact same dollar value that they have here. That's what it's worth. So it's kind of like a good voucher that we use and we prepare. This is just my recommendation. I put one in your packet before, but we've had some other people to come in after I had prepared your packages. And so there's a revised one I had put in your area that has like the yellow says revised. And so what I'm recommending is $1,000 to the library, $750 for everybody. The amount is $700, when you do the math, I got $6 extra, so I threw it in on for the movies, because we actually have been sponsoring that for some time for the kids to have free movies in the summertime. But Arcadia does not receive the voucher to use the event center, because that is a business. But it's unique, because I don't know if you've ever seen the little summer kids. They're all going there, watching movies, having a good time, and I think she even provides them with a popcorn and a snack. And then they were put up there as a sponsorship for the city of Floresville, that you are one of the sponsors of their movies. So there's letters attached from the different organizations, but I just did the reading program of $1,000 was my recommendation, $750 for all the other athletics, and it's growing. So I don't know how long I want to keep reducing it, but you may pick and choose, but it's just a recommendation.
Okay, I have a councilwoman Cantu would like to say something.
Yeah, I have a question. Okay, so in kind, we're gonna give them how much?
We'll give them a voucher to use the event center in the amount of whatever that is. So if for the library, they would have a voucher in the amount of $1,000 worth of use of the event center, whenever they need it. It's like a voucher that they can redeem whenever they need to. That's our match to that.
Okay, and then I also have a question on the Wilson Ballet Summer, Ballet Lyrical Summer Camp. What is,
The ballet school that's right here downtown Floresville.
so do they give scholarships to the kids, or?
They have a camp that they have for the summer, that they provide for the summer. They're able to provide more girls to be able to do that. Now, I don't think it's a scholarship program, but they have a boot camp for the scholarship that they have for the ballerinas to be able to perform. She has in your packet what she said she's going to be able to do. She's provided a letter for this summer camp, ballet boot camp they're doing. And I think they're performing a music through the ages. We have given to them before, in Hotel Motel Tax, but we've also given them before in the Phelps Youth Program. If you look at what Phelps is saying that their requirements are, and Mary, you may know this better than I, that they really want it to be something in the summer, something for the kids, different activities. Of course, basketball and soccer kind of programs are those, and they're usually male dominant, so we like to sometimes get to the ballerinas because those are usually girl dominated, but it's up to you. It's just a recommendation.
Okay.
Excuse me. I have a question about that same one, Wilson Ballet Summer. Let's see, how should I word this? Anyway, so what isn't it like a business?
Does she charge the kids to participate?
Yeah, it
And
also,
it's a year thing, right? It's a yearly thing, she goes all the year.
she has, all year long she does a program, but she has a summer boot camp that she does for the summer for the girls, which is more intensive. Now, you see in her letter that she puts here, I get a letter, I don't
Yeah,
get
I read that letter, but I couldn't find anything that,
And so it actually helps, it helps offset the cost of the summer camp program. But again, it's just a recommendation, you've given it to her before, it is your recommendation, and I look forward to making whatever change that you recommend.
But my question is then, if you assign, like, if I had a child and I put her in her program, I would have to pay for this summer
Yes.
program, correct?
Yes. But it's the same thing for the baseball or Little League, it's not free. I mean, those summer camp things for those kids for the basketball for the summer is not free, but it helps offset the cost.
But the Little League and that, they're not businesses, is what I'm trying to say. They're not businesses, they're summer programs for the kids. Yeah.
Any other, that's something for the council to consider.
Yes.
Any other comments by the council? questions for Mrs. Turner?
That's the only one I have a problem with. That's the only question I have also.
Well, we're gonna have to look into that. We'll go ahead and approve it this year.
It's your recommendation. If you don't feel comfortable, then you can make a recommendation to approve all the other ones, and then we can just take the other 715, divide it between the other athletic ones if you so choose to. I just need to, I'm behind the April. I should have had this on your council last month.
And so, if they're awarded these funds, would they also, if they put on, you know, a program, because some of these entities have requested hot funds before, would they be eligible for those as well,
Yes,
in addition to this money?
yes. One would not negate the other.
Okay.
They would be.
Okay, so council, you have before you, so you could approve this with that one change or whatever the council so chooses. Any citizens' comments pertaining to this?
I think that money should go to better things, like, for example, the civic center. The kids are out there doing donuts and ruining the baseball diamonds, and, I mean, it's totally a mess out there. We need a security guard out there, apparently. And I think that's more important than, this lady charges for the children to be in that. The parents can pay for the camping or wherever they want to go. I think that's more important than the civic center with that money.
Thank you.
Do we have to approve this tonight?
Yes. And it's my fault, not
I
yours.
just have a clarifying question
Yes,
about,
ma'am.
for these organizations, they apply the funds so kids can access this summer program, or?
Some use it in lieu of, some of them use it so if they get the money, then they are able to have the camp. Some of them use it because it helps offset the cost. So everybody charges, including I make the exception for the movie theater because they don't charge her, it's free, but she's a business, and so I don't give her time at the event center. And so, according to what Phelps wants you to do with the money, and they let you decide what you want to do with the money, they say that you have to, they want you to youth programs, providing different activities and things such as that. So anyone that we giving money to is not going to pay for that program. It won't be free. It just helps offset the cost to do so. They may be able to service more children or maybe not charge as much. We have so many activities for sports, several basketball, several, and like Little League, they're going to be hosting some additional funds activities, they got another baseball thing going, that they asked for the funds, but because it's getting so many, we used to. Now, when I first got here, they used to give it all to one person. I didn't think that was fair. So we started giving to other organizations. Yes.
So you have your Spurs leagues and your basketball, you have 2 football and those such things. So that's why the money keeps going down. But 750, or like I said, if you care to, you can decide not to do one, and I'll just take that 750 and divide it between the other athletic, because I have to dispense all the money. even
Well,
if
it
it's
only
not.
has 500 on, or not unless it was, you added 250 more? Yeah, on the paper that I got, it says 500, that you would get 500.
Well,
But on this other one, it says 750.
yes, because I'm just trying to, when I got the additional request, it added some different, so I
Okay,
wanted to
so it added
fair from 5, so
So you
7, what
divided
was the
it.
rationale in that, so I'm just dividing it out.
So at the movies, how would you get, you would give them cash or?
We write, everybody on this list will get a check, and the check actually is money that Phelps has sent to the city of Floresville.
Oh, okay.
And then for the movie, she does not get free time or a voucher for the event center, but everybody else does. So it helps offset, the library has this wonderful program that they do, and so they get to be charged at the non-for-profit rate. And so where it's $2,000, it costs them $1,000, then you give them $1,000 voucher, voila, then they're not paying for that.
So, so the light company has already given you a check for this ballet summer camp?
They have given us a check for $6,000, what is it, $6,256, $6,256, they have given the city of
Okay, and
Floresville.
you're supposed to
And
divide
we're
it,
supposed to divide it out. They
So
leave it
it's
up
our
to each
choice.
individual.
but they leave it up to us to divide it.
Yes, ma'am. Is that right? Did I mistake? Yes.
That's
And I was supposed to have it back to them last month, but we got a little busy, so that's why I need to decide so I can get this off our plate. And summer's about here. School's out when?
May the 30th.
Yeah, so they're about to start playing and giving the funds.
Okay, Councilman Orange.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. What puzzles me, and I can sense it here, is that, why are we giving away funds to some that are making money, and they're making more money? And for some, our kids here in Floresville are not getting those free funds. We should reevaluate, and for them to come to us in person, if they need those funds, $1,000, $750. I know they're very busy, but I think if we're gonna give funds to them free, they should give that money away free. That's my thought, my belief, but.
Historically, and what is required by Phelps, because it's actually Phelps money, you're deciding on who gets it.
Right.
They say the requirement is for a youth summer program for youth. It doesn't necessarily say that the kids have to get their services free. Now, if you care to put that caveat on there,
Right.
then that's definitely your choice, but in the letter, nothing really
Right.
sometimes is free in reference to do that. Now, if you want them to come and present, historically, we never had that many people come and present. We usually ask them to put a letter together and submit a letter. That is a requirement that Phelps has. I have to submit it to Phelps and say, this is what it is, and I'm not just making it up, that these things really exist, that it's summer youth programs. But that is what Phelps does. They do it for Post and the other communities as well.
And I'm not saying anything against, the organizations, but if they're making money, their net is up here, and some are way down here. That's uneven, especially to the ones in Floresville. Those are the ones that we answer to. Here we have some organizations that are the majority outside the city of Floresville, and we have to support. The Wilson County Football, the Wildcats.
Well,
I have nothing.
I think that's just their name, though.
No, yes, right, but I have a daughter that's in Pope and comes in, program here, cheerleader, and I love that. But I'm saying if they're paying $350 for a uniform, I mean, it just puzzles me that we're giving them money when they're making money. I can understand if they weren't making any money. And even the field.
But you have, people don't, volunteering is great, but even with the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, those cookies don't cost $6 now? $4. $4?
I bought mine for free.
Even Girl Scout cookies in the back of the day, I think it was $1.50, but cookies cost, and it's volunteer, everybody costs, but if you give it to the Girl Scouts, there's a cost. So everything's associated. Now, some people think even the soccer, they're called Wilson County Soccer, but they play here on Floresville's fields. And some of the children that come to the movie theater free are not all Floresville kids, but a majority of them are. And so it's to offset the cost, it's not to run a program, because if you really wanted to make a program to make it free, then you would need to put all these in one bucket and actually give it to one organization and say, now run a summer program for free for $6,000.
Another question, do we have other organizations that need funds instead of the only ones? I see the same one here. We see them again and again and again. Are there any other organizations that need funds?
Well, everybody needs funds, and if you like, next year we can run an ad to be able to advertise, to have different people to come and to present. But you have to make sure that they are a legitimate organization, so I don't have a fly-by-night to come and say, yeah, I'm gonna do a free tennis court thing, and I'm not necessarily legitimate organization. And when you're dealing with children, you need to make sure that it's a legitimate organization, especially if you're giving them funds.
Go ahead.
I think considering, the date of the letter from Phelps is from February, and now we're just talking about this in May, I hear you
And I apologize, what we'll do when I get the letter again, or the secretary will write that down, then if, when we get the letter, we'll put an advertising asking the people,